The American Broadcasting Company Radio Network presents Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are aboard the Terra 5, rushing toward the planet Saturn. Suddenly, another ship fires at them.
It was close, Commander. He's getting range with those torpedoes.
We'll try evasive action.
Why don't we give Rookout some of his own medicine? Fire a few blasts with our space cannon.
We can't do. We've got to think about those people in Saturn City. If we destroy Drokov, we destroy the only person who can cure that epidemic.
Open rocket. We can't fight back. So all Drokov has to do is keep firing until he hits us.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting story, The Weed of Despair. Better schools build better communities. All schools should have large, airy classrooms, well-equipped, and even more important, they should have an adequate teaching staff. Many of our schools fail to reach these standards. 3 out of every 5 classrooms in the nation are overcrowded, and there's a shortage of 72,000 elementary teachers. The solution is more action by more people in more places. Join and work with local civic groups and school boards who are actively seeking to improve educational conditions. Find out how citizens in other communities are taking action to improve their schools. For such background information and for guidance, simply write to Better Schools, 2 West 45th Street, New York 36, New York. Help our schools keep pace with the birth rate. Now, back to today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, The Weed of Despair. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy are aboard the Terra 5, bound for the planet Saturn to investigate a strange malady that has afflicted Saturn City. Leading doctors of the United Planets are unable to explain the cause of the sickness, which leaves its victims suffering from strange fatigue and anxiety. Many of the city's leaders have been affected by the spreading epidemic, and Buzz fears that immediate action is needed to prevent a serious disaster.
Commander, if the doctors can't do anything about that sickness, what are we supposed to do?
Our job is to keep the people of Saturn City from hurting themselves and others.
I've read in the medical reports, sir, nobody gets violent. It's the opposite, in fact. They just sit around and brood and worry.
Exactly. Every motion seems a tremendous effort for them. They're used to suffering. As the sickness progresses, they become afraid to take any sort of action for fear it might be the wrong thing to do.
Then it's all in their mind.
Possibly. That doesn't make the effect of the sickness any less real.
I still don't see how we can.
We're setting up a temporary camp outside the city in a small atmosphere shell. In case Saturn City has to be quarantined, we can rotate skeleton crews in key positions and operate the city by remote control.
We should reach Saturn in about 2 hours, sir. We're just over the orbit of the 6th moon, Titan.
Titan, the 6th moon of Saturn, is the only satellite in the solar system with a natural atmosphere. Prospectors like Mort Stocker and Reese Haviland, with little money for spacesuits or small atmosphere shells, take advantage of this fact in their search for valuable minerals. Their small, powerful surface truck roars over Titan's rough terrain.
Nice kid right over that hill, Reese. I think you're rocking, man. Flashes in the sky, flashes over the hill.
I saw him. Green flash.
Yeah, the polka dots, sure.
No, there wasn't any polka dots. Like I told you, I was looking out the window of our shack when the first flash came out in space.
Meteor.
And then several minutes later, the next one came. Once it exploded and hit the ground.
If it exploded, it isn't going to do us any good, even if it was solid uranium.
Look. Look, you can see it now. That's where it landed, that big scarred place a quarter of a mile ahead.
I see it. It's all black and torn. But it wasn't a meteor. A meteor, we'd have dug a crater.
Something's been burned, Reese. Something burned hot. Hey, stop the truck. Look out at the man lying on the ground.
Run right over him. Let's call out a truck and see what's wrong with it. Roll him over, Mark. Can't tell whether he's breathing or not. It's been punctured right here in the lane. Whatever exploded over there, a chunk of it hit the program. Neat. He's alive, all right. Here, help me load this man into the truck. We better rush him to the shack and doctor him up.
two prospectors speed back to their shack with the injured man. While they're dressing his wounds, the stranger regains consciousness.
Now, you just lie there in the bunk and take it easy. I'll have you patched up for you.
You gentlemen saved my life. I was sure I was finished.
You're going to be all right. Hey, Richard?
I'll be okay.
Where am I? A couple of miles from where we picked you up.
How did you happen to find me?
I saw the price the meteor made. It was a meteor, wasn't it?
No, it was my ship, a private cruiser. Something went wrong with the reactor. I managed to shut down and get out before it blew up. Fragment must have caught my leg.
You were lucky at that. By the way, my name is Reeve Havlin. My beetle-browed friend here is Mort Stocker. We're prospectors, in case you haven't guessed.
I'm very glad to know you, gentlemen. My name is Yelvin. I'm from Venus.
Venus, huh?
There's a plant that calls us.
What kind of a factory you work for?
Factory? I'm afraid I didn't make myself quite clear. I work with growing plants, flowers, bees.
Well, Mr. Gowan, you won't find many plants on Titan.
I didn't expect to. My landing here was kind of accident.
Yes, sir.
You gentlemen probably get around a lot. Maybe you can help me. Would you be good enough to bring me my jacket?
Oh, sure, I can.
I'm searching for a certain type of plant. A weed, to be exact.
That's, neighborhood.
Yeah, but you'd know it.
Well, I might. Here's the jacket, Mr. Gowan.
Thank you.
Oh, that's too fancy. I ever saw clothes quite like these before.
It's a semi-official uniform. Here's what I wanted to share with these pictures. Did you ever see one of these plants?
I think I would do.
Let me see them. You mean you're looking for a mangy-looking weed like this? I admit it's not very attractive, but it has interesting medical uses. Think carefully. Have you ever seen it? As you can see, it's darker the grayish yellow. Once a year, it grows a big purple ball of tar to its core. Seed, you probably call it.
No, Mr. Gelden, I have never seen anything like this. Neither have I. And this is what you're looking for, huh? Hey, you're stranded on Titan without a ship, Mr. Gelden. We'd be glad to notify the Saturn Space Patrol.
No. I mean, don't bother.
Well, it's no trouble. We got a paperphone in the next room.
The fact is, I feel rather foolish asking for a rescue ship. You'll probably be going to Saturn for supplies in a day or so. I'll go in with you.
We don't have a ship here on Titan, Mr. Gelden. Oh, you see, we're prospecting on the cuff, so to speak. Big company advances supplies and equipment. Every 30 days we send a ship here to drop off more supplies. Then they pick up samples of ore.
You want to wait till the ship comes?
You're welcome.
And how long will that be?
Well, that ship was here 2 days ago. It'll be 28 days for next year.
Don't let that worry you. We got plenty of food. You're welcome to stay with us.
You know, you just lie down there and take it easy while I rustle up some food for you.
Here's something pretty strange in the viewscope, Commander. A dark smear on the ground. Down there on Titan. Yes, I see. And it's perfectly round, starred area. But the something is burning. What if they were burning? Good question, huh?
Titan Station T-19 calling Space Patrol. Emergency. Attention all Space Patrol units.
Manicoria aboard Terra 5 to Titan Station T-19. Go ahead.
This is Reeve Havlin at Titan T-19. I want to report it. Commander Corey,
That's right, Havlin. I'm 11 DUs off Titan. What's the trouble?
my partner and I prospecting Sector 7R on Titan. Somebody stole our surface truck. We're stranded.
We're right over Sector 7R now, Commander.
Can you give me more details, Havlin?
Sure. A couple of hours ago, a spaceship exploded just over the hill from our shack. My partner and I picked up this guy and brought him back. His late was we sent him back.
You say a spaceship exploded?
Well, it blew out after it crashed. It left a big black smear and nothing else. Anyhow, we picked up the pilot and put him in our bunk to take a nap. The next thing we knew, he was gone. So was our truck.
How long ago did this happen?
Not more than 20 minutes ago. He couldn't have gone very far. But me and my partner are friends.
Well, take it easy, Havlin. We're covering the whole area by viewscope right now.
We got to get that truck back, Commander. It's our bread and butter.
Stand by that spaceophone. We'll keep in touch. Corey out.
Commander, I picked up something on the viewscope. Maybe they're still in trouble.
circle lower toward Titan.
Here's the truck we'll land.
When closer observation proves the moving object to be a surface truck, Buzz lands the Terrified near the blackened area. By now, the surface truck has stopped near some large rocks. Buzz and Happy descend the landing ladder and advance toward the truck. A man in strange clothing turns from a crevice in the rocks and stands with arms folded, waiting.
We're space patrollers. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Of course. Where did you get that surface? We got a couple of parts of it. More starter and these haven't. I suppose they reported it stolen. Right. Actually, I only borrowed it. I figured I'd get back to the shack before they mixed the truck or me. Why are you here? Looking for something? Yes, I am. You see, I had some valuable personal effects aboard my spaceship. I had hoped that there was something clear about the explosion, so I came back to look for it. That's all. Find what you were looking for? No, I didn't.
That's right. The explosions are very complete design.
I didn't know that. But it's place of the hull, the active shield, and everything. Yet you escaped.
Practically without a scream.
I was fortunate. I managed to get clear of the ship before it blew up. What's that?
Coming from over there in those rocks.
Kelvin, are you sure that you didn't manage to save a portable spaceophone from the ship before it exploded?
It's in code, sir. A very strange code.
It's the kind that might be picked up by a hacker space receiver. What do you need? Kelvin, I think you're from another solar system. Another solar system? What makes you think that? Your clothes are one thing, and your spaceship is so totally and mysteriously demolished. And if I get a look at that receiver, I can tell that it was made here in our solar system away. I am from another system. I don't mean you any harm. In fact, I came here to help you, please. We can settle that for certain with a Vanguard. You got that? To be sure whether you're telling the truth. You can tell it, Happy, when I put that receiver.
Yes, sir. Oh, the signal cut off.
No one knows. Either of you know.
Yeah? Well, just how are you going to stop us?
I hate to do this, but it's quite simple.
I think there might be a doing that. I'm getting scared. Everything's getting blurred.
Quick, use your radar.
Of
course you can. This harmless-looking belt is radiating a field upon your brain.
Commander!
We'll return to our exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. One of the great men of our time is Dr. Albert Schweitzer. For the past 40 years, Dr. Schweitzer has dedicated his life to his medical mission in French equatorial Africa, devoting all his personal income to the support of 700 patients suffering from leprosy, malaria, sleeping sickness, and other dread diseases of the jungle. Dr. Schweitzer has just reached his 80th birthday. As a tribute, many Americans will send him a gift through CARE, because help for Dr. Schweitzer's hospital is one continuing part of CARE's World Health Program. Your contribution will be gratefully received and carefully spent in the service of humanity. Send it to CARE, New York 16, or to any local CARE office. Specify that it is for Dr. Schweitzer's hospital in Africa. Now back to our exciting Space Patrol adventure, Weed of Despair. Buzz and Happy landed on Titan, Saturn's fixed moon, near a strange scarred area where a spaceship disintegrated in an explosion. While questioning Gelvin, the pilot who survived the disaster, Buzz found evidence that the ship is from another solar system. Suddenly, Gelvin stunned the space patrollers with a brain-numbing field that radiated from his belt. Now, Buzz and Happy find themselves in the control compartment of the Terrified, with Gelvin standing over them.
Now, if your heads are clear, I want you to listen. Understand? We've got our weapons. We can't do anything else. I'm from Talorma, a star system about 80 light years from your solar system. I'm an officer in our Galactic Peace Commission. It's on the order of your space patrol. I can point out a few differences. Perhaps. I'm here to capture an escaped criminal.
And if you're the law, I'd hate to meet the criminal.
I know you're angry. But it was necessary for the welfare of your own people. So to help people, you put us out cold with that radiation field. You planned to take me to your space patrol headquarters, you said. It would take time, and there's none to spare. Not when I have a lead on Dokkan. Who is Dokkan? The criminal I'm after. After he fled from Talorma, I trailed him to the Procyon system. And then here. I'd intercepted a hyperspace signal from him when my ship developed trouble. I had to land on Titan. I was destroyed my own ship so Dokov couldn't stop it.
Well, what does this Volkov do that's so dangerous?
He brings entire planets under his control. How does he work? I want to show you some pictures. Did you ever see a planet like this anywhere in your solar system? Sorry, how about you, Hopper?
Yes, I don't think so.
This weed is probably the most dangerous plant in the universe. It looks harmless, but just a few of them can pollute the atmosphere for miles around. You mean it's poison? Not in the ordinary physical sense. Its effect is emotional or psychological. You see this purple sac, the pod?
Mm-hmm.
When that pod bursts, billions of microscopic spores are released into the air. If any of the spores are breathed by human beings, a strange sickness is produced. What kind of sickness? A great lassitude, a fatigue. The victim is overcome with a sense of hopelessness. Nothing seems worthwhile. Then comes a horrible anxiety, a formless, baseless worry, and a sense of despair.
Saturn City. That's exactly what's happening in Saturn City.
What is Drokov's purpose? How can he profit by it? Drokov also has the only cure for this sickness. When your scientists have tried every possible remedy and failed, and the government and its citizens become panicky, and Drokov will offer his cure for enormous price. If there is a cure, a positive, definite cure. Yes. Tell us what it is. With your help, our scientists could prepare it and rush it to Saturn City. And it's not as easy as that, Commander. Years ago, the government of Paloma destroyed every weed on the planet where it originated. The remedy is destroyed with the weed. How? You see, a species of wasp feeds on a substance secreted by the stalk of the plant. When the weeds are killed, the wasp had no more food and died out.
Well, what's the wasp got to do with the cure?
An extract is made from the honey of the wasp. That substance counteracts the effect of the spores, and only Drokov has this extract. That's right, Commander. And the supply of the plants. Then you're willing to join forces with us to capture Drokov? Not only willing, but eager. Fine. We can use our ship and your knowledge. But first, there's that truck you borrowed from our two prospectors. How far away is that shop? About 1 kur. That will be less than 2 miles on your measurement unit. I'll space one of the prospectors and tell them where the truck is. I'll tell them I've arrested the man. That's fine, Commander. The sooner we go after Drokov, the better. Where do we start looking for him? I only know he's somewhere in this part of your solar system. We'll head for Saturn City and make a few inquiries. Prepare for blast-off, Hap. I'll contact Mort Stocker.
Blasting off from the sixth moon was such a vector for the planet Saturn. Now the Terrified is a few hundred BUs in the outer perimeter of Saturn's ring. It's a magnificent sight, Commander. Those rings on Saturn.
Yes, they are beautiful, Barry.
And from this angle, the rings look smooth and flat. One might even be tempted to try to land on them.
Well, if you tried it, your ship would be chewed to pieces in a fraction of a second. Those rings are made up of tiny fragments of rock whirling around Saturn at about 10 miles a second.
Commander, look at the rear view scope. There's a ship right on our tail.
He's on a collision course with us. We'd better warn him.
Private cruiser, sir. That's all I can tell about it now.
He's firing at us.
Hey, what's he lobbing space torpedoes at us for? Doesn't he know this is a space patrol ship?
I think he does, Happy. I'm the one he wants to get.
You? But who would want to... Oh, Drokov.
Yes. Commander, do you mind if I try to contact him? Go ahead, Gil.
Drokov, this is Gelwin of the Galactic Peace Commission, Paloma Division. Drokov, do you hear me?
Yes, Gelwin. I've been waiting for you.
How did you know I was aboard the commander's ship?
I intercepted Torrey's conversation with the prospector. I have been watching Titan since your own ship landed there. I have also overheard your hyperspace messages to Paloma.
Torrey knows that you're responsible for what's happening to the people in Saturn City. When you show up with the remedy, you'll be captured.
That's right, Drokov. You won't be able to profit by your extortion plot.
I disagree, Commander. You have not seen an entire city in the grip of an epidemic of despair. When the sickness really takes hold, your United Planets government will do anything to obtain the remedy, at any cost.
If that's the case, what will you gain by destroying us?
Gelwin knows too much about me. You two working together could cause me some annoyance. Now, Commander, further conversation is useless. If you'll excuse me, I will resume the pleasant task of exterminating you.
Well, there's no use appealing to his finer sensibility. That's right, Commander.
Oh, that was close, Commander. He's getting his range with this torpedo. Why don't we give him some of his own medicine? If we give him a few blasts with our space
Well,
cannon...
we can't. Got to think about those people in Saturn City. If we destroy Drokov, we destroy the only person who can cure that epidemic.
He's gaining on us, sir. Smoking rockets we can't fight back, so all Drokov has to do is keep firing until he hits us.
I'm changing back to Hap. We're heading for Saturn's ring.
But sir, Drokov can still follow us.
He won't follow us where we're going. In taking the ship right into the ring.
Why, those chunks of rock will turn this ship into a sieve.
We'll go in on a tangent. It's a choice between getting hit with 1,000 fragments or one torpedo.
Commander, you aren't really going to go into that ring.
Yes, and to nudge our way in gently. We'll match our velocity to the particles in the outer rim. We'll be riding along with them, sort of rolling with a pinch. It might work, Commander. Have to run the repel array about 1/10 pound.
Yes, sir.
We're going to grab a ride on Saturn's merry-go-round. When those particles seem to be standing still, we'll pull into the stream.
We're almost at match velocity now, Commander.
The repel array ought to keep off any particles that come too close.
Rokoff's still firing at us. Uh-oh. He's changed vector.
Good. It means he won't try to follow us into the ring.
Those particles are all around us now, sir. They look like they're suspended in strings outside our viewport. Like a swarm of bees.
And if we don't disturb those bees, we won't get stung. Now the trick is to work our way deeper into the ring.
Can you do it, sir?
If we increase our velocity gradually, as we move toward the inner part of the ring, it ought to work.
Then you're going to spiral your way in, clear through the ring.
No. We'll stay in long enough to convince Rokoff that we're finished and come out through the top.
I bet he's already sure that we're full of holes.
Kelvin, I'm going to put in the hyperspace receiver. If Rokoff keeps in close touch with his Confederates back in Paloma, we may learn something about his plan.
Nothing on the receiver so far. I'll try another frequency.
All right, Kelvin. I think we can work our way out of the ring now.
I've got something. There's some code. I can't make it out.
Is it from Paloma?
I don't know.
Yes, I'm certain of it. Gelwin is dead. We do not have to worry about his meddling anymore.
Rokoff.
I'm not only rid of Gelwin, but the commander of the United Planet Space Patrol as well. The fools dived into a ring of fragments that whirl around the planet Saturn. They must have been ground to pieces in a few
Good
seconds.
work, Commander, just like you said.
I've got more good news, Ormok. The situation in Saturn City is desperate. Half the population has become so depressed by the effects of the weed spores that they aren't working. Communications, transportation, power, they're all disrupted. The accident rate is way up. I'll wait a few days for real panic to set in. Then I'll appear with my magic remedy. I'll ask 1 million credits first. And if the officials quibble or delay, my price will go up. I've got quantities of the remedies stashed all over the solar system. There's a supply on Saturn Moon number 9 in a lunar-type spaceship, all earmarked for Saturn City. The remedy will stay there till they meet my price. I'll keep you informed, Ormok. Rokoff out.
A lunar-type ship on the 9th moon. Commander, if we only knew what part of the moon.
The 9th moon of Saturn. Small, only 200 miles in diameter.
With a blue it shouldn't take us long to find the ship, unless it's hidden.
We'll spiral out of this rock swarm and head for the 9th moon. A few moments later, the Terra 5 emerges from the outer rim of the whirling rings of Saturn, like a silver spark from a spinning grindstone. Buzz sets a vector for Saturn's 9th moon. Then comes the long, patient search of the surface of the tiny Saturn.
This makes 6 times around, Commander.
It'll take about 12 more to cover the surface completely.
Every inch of that moon's surface looks just like the neck.
Commander, look. The right edge of the view scope. Is that a rock?
No, it's too smooth for a rock. Increase the sensitivity height.
Yes, sir.
I think it's what we're after. Lunar-type ship. Into your spacesuits. We're going to land. Buzz sets the Terra 5 down on the surface of the moon. Then, in spacesuits and with ray guns ready, they advance toward the small ship.
There probably isn't anyone aboard, and we can't afford to take chances. We may have trouble getting into the ship, Commander. Rokoff probably locked the hatch. I've thought of that. The Talmud port will do the trick. You two wait here. I'll go up the ladder first. Yes, sir. It's locked, all right. A couple of blasts from the torch will take care of that. All right, come aboard. Yes, sir. We'll try the storage compartment first. It won't take long to search this ship. We'll start with that captain. There's some small containers here, but I can't read the labels. They're in my native language, Norma. They're mostly ordinary chemicals. Here. Remedies for weed and despair. Hey, wonderful. But it's just a small bottle. there are thousands of people in Saturn City. It will be enough. Fortunately, the remedies that we've diluted millions of times are still be effective. But how can we get it to the people? That's a good question. The nature of the sickness itself is working against them. The victims haven't any initiative or any desire to get well. They won't cooperate because they can't. They wouldn't show up for treatment. And we'd have to find people that aren't sick and train them to administer the treatment. That's no problem. Merely drinking water with the diluted solution in it will effect a cure. Yeah, but remember that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Only in this case, we can't even lead the people to water, though. There's another way. Going. What if this concentrate were added to the city's water supply? Would it be strong enough to work? I think so. In fact, I'm sure of it. Just that small bottle for thousands of people? Yes, Captain. What we have here will take care of a city up to 500,000 in population. Then we're safe. Be sure that we can reach every man, woman, and child in Saturn City, provided they aren't too bored with life to get up and get a drink of water. Don't worry. The advanced stages of the sickness, no matter how listless the victims are, one desire remains. One drive that will stir them to effort. Thirst. We'll save them. All right, then. We'll blast off and get this remedy to Saturn City. Then we'll go after Strokoff.
A preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Boys and girls, there's a wonderful way for you to get the things you want. Say you want a new bike or camera or whatever it is. Well, the way to get it is the United States Savings Bond. Now, here's the plan. You put your dimes and quarters, a part of your money, into your school savings plan. You might want to save cash or fill up a savings stamp album, which holds $18.75 worth of stamps. That's enough to buy a $25 savings bond. Just get started on a thrift habit, and first thing you know, you can buy the things you need with your own money. You will have the fun of watching your dimes and quarters grow into dollars. Dollars all your own. Again, the important thing is to be sure you take advantage of your school savings plan each week. You'll find it's lots of fun and smart, too. Now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol story. Buzz and Happy have become infected with a dangerous, weakening sickness and are frantically searching a laboratory on Venus, hoping to find the one medicine that will cure them.
If we don't get some of that solution soon, we'll be of no use to ourselves or anybody. Leave me, sir. Right now, I'm just going on my own momentum. Heck, up there on the top shelf, that bottle. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the remedy. Be careful with that. It's probably all there is in the whole place. We can only get it to the ship. I'll drop our fires. Oh, it's broke off, and he's got a blast gun. Oh, Commander, the glass smashed the bottle. The medicine's gone.
Be with us next week for the thrilling Space Patrol story, The Fugitive from Colorma. Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Lynn Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Helen Moser. Other players were Ken Mayer, Bela Kovac, and Norman Jolly. Dick Weston speaking. Don't forget to tune in next Saturday at the same time for exciting adventure on Space Patrol. This program was broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.